The truth about buying businesses. In this video, I'm going to once and for all uncover the total truth about the business buying journey. So with business buying, let's take the example of a £300,000 profit business. Yes, $300,000 profit business. This business, as soon as you buy it, you're going to be putting 300,000 in your pocket every single year from year one. You're going to be an investor. You're going to sit back. You're going to let people run that business for you. You're going to make sure that the money rolls in without you having to lift a finger. You're going to be the owner investor from day one without putting any additional work in. That is all a lie. That is what people sell you. If you're on this channel and you think that my videos are going to give you this kind of life, that is also a lie. Buying a business takes work. And there's two things I want to talk about in this video, which is going to uncover the total truth about post-acquisition, what happens when you buy a business. Buying a business, the process to buy a business, which I coach people about and train people about, that is actually quite a simple process. There's certain steps that you have to take. And once you do your first one, it becomes super easy. But once you purchase a business, what happens? Number one, let's take the example of this $300,000 or £300,000. You will have something called debt service that you need to take care of. Debt service doesn't mean that you've got a lender. It could mean that you're doing a seller finance deal. It could mean that you've done it from a lender. It could mean that you've done it from an investor. Whichever case, there's only three ways that you can get this capital. Unless you're buying a distressed business, which I don't actually recommend you do in your first deal, you need to raise capital from somewhere. And that capital needs to be paid back. So for example, if you've got 300,000, let's say the debt service on that is 150,000 or 200,000, then that needs to be paid to the investor, to the lender, to the seller before you get your money. Of course, if you can stretch these things out with investors and sellers, you can do that with investors and sellers. You can't do it with lenders. If you can stretch it out, then that's fantastic for you. But normally you'll have to pay that back from month one or quarter one at the very least. With sellers, it could be year one. But normally with investors, you start with month one and quarter one with lenders as well. So that means if you have 300,000 as a profit business, you will only be netting 150k. Does that mean that 150k comes to you? No, there's something called working capital growth. Now, as a business grows, you don't want a business just to stay stagnant as soon as you purchase it. You want to make sure that this business has working capital to keep healthy, to keep in the positive, to keep in the black. And you want to make sure that this business grows. Now, that business needs some investment. You've got investment in the terms of labor, or you've got investment in the terms of marketing, or you've got investment in the terms of processes and technology. That all requires working capital to put that in. So let's say, for example, you've got your 150. That now shrinks down by another 50,000. Then you've got 100,000 left over. With that 100k, then there may be other things that come up. You have a good month, you have a bad month. So let's say that goes down to 50k. Now with your £300,000 business in year one, most probably year two, most probably year three, you won't be able to put more than 50,000 in your pocket. Now for some people, that's enough. For some people, that's just okay. For some people, that's not enough. You know your situation. In any case, anyone who tells you that you're going to be putting 300,000 in your pocket from year one, in this 300,000 example, they are lying to you. Now, if you reduce the profitability of the business that you're buying, then all of a sudden your 50,000 goes down to 20. Your 50,000 goes down to 30, whatever it may be. You need to do the sums. And that's why having the correct training to look at a forecast, what you're pushing out, you'll be able to understand what you can put. The other thing is that you will be responsible for the business. Now, initially, the people that you've just purchased the business from will look up to you as a new owner as to what standards do you set as you move forward. So knowing what to do post-acquisition, the stages which I talk about on my training and my coaching that no one else seems to be talking about, that what do you do post-acquisition? Remember, buying the business is simple. What do you do thereafter? There are systems and processes that you can set up after acquisition to ensure that you step back. But ultimately, with any change that happens in the business, people will be looking towards you as that new owner, as that new CEO. Now, me personally, I don't work in any of the businesses that I purchase. However, I do have a role of management. Now, over time, I will hire someone else who has the skills of managing my complete business. However, right now, I don't think that's the right place. And me as a person, I'm growing so much in being a CEO, as someone who runs businesses and knows how to optimize them in the best way. So you will need to put in some work in the beginning. After that, yes, you can sit back and you can be the investor. Now what happens? That means that in year 1 and year 2, you may have to put more work in than you think. If you think that you can sit back and relax, you've got another thing coming for you. So to be prepared for all of that, number one, come into the consulting and the training that I have, but also be prepared mentally that you're going to have to do things that other people aren't telling you. Once you've put all of those systems and processes in place and you've got a good team, then you can start sitting back and be the investor. Then you can sit back. And of course, after your debt service has been paid off, then you will have the 300,000 coming into your pocket. And hopefully more, because you've optimized it in a way that these businesses are making more money. And even business goes up and down, right? Even if it goes down, have the correct amount of working capital that you save in the business to ensure that you can ride it out in the bad times so that you can profit even more in the good times. Again, if you want to find out more about how to buy businesses and what to do post-business as well, then click the link in the description, book a call with me, and we'll see how I can support you in your business buying journey and also your business buying journey after you've purchased the business.